it's Marissa here, and today I have a video about something super fun that I know we all look forward to. I took the SAT yesterday, March 5th, and it was the first version of the new SAT. I didn't get like a perfect score or anything, but I thought I would just give some advice because I know a lot of people have to take this test and it would be really helpful to them. I am a junior this year, and so it's really annoying that they decided to change the test at this point of the year instead of earlier. It's just kind of how it is, I guess, and if you're annoyed by that too, we can be annoyed together in the comments. In case you are a little confused, the SAT is a standardized test. I think you only really take it in America. I'm not sure. I don't even know what it stands for. Standardized something test. Basically, you take it and a lot of colleges look at it to see if you are a good fit for them. It can help you get scholarships. Other option other than taking the SAT is the ACT. That's a different standardized test. Some colleges look at the SAT, some look at the ACT. It really just depends. You never know which one you're going to really do better on until you take both. I personally haven't taken the ACT because at the high school I go to, we prep for the SAT, they have SAT classes and we take the PSAT. So I took those, so that's why I was like, I'll just take the SAT, and then if I don't get a super good score, then I'll take the ACT and see how I do on that. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, in case you're wondering. So if this is really relevant in your life right now, probably if you're a junior in high school, as I am, you probably have a counselor or a teacher or something that has gone over the changes with the new SAT. The biggest thing I feel is the scoring, because now the best score isn't a 2400, it's a 1600, which is really confusing because now you can't compare the old and new one very well. When I got my PSAT score back and it projected my SAT score, I was so confused because it was so low, and then I just realized that the scoring is totally different now and everything's changed. So make sure you know that. The length of the test, it's still really long. It's 3.5 or 4 hours. It takes up most of your Saturday. Start with a reading one, and then you do a grammar writing kind of one, and then you do a math section without a calculator, and then you do a math section with a calculator. So that's only 4 sections. I'm not sure exactly how many there was before, but I know there was definitely more. First it's a 10-minute break, and then a 5, and then a 2, which is really weird. Now the essay is optional, and my counselor, he was like, yeah, I know that the essay is optional, but you should probably still take it anyway in case the colleges want to see your essay. So I took the essay, and it really wasn't that bad. It's more about analyzing an argument, so if you're studying for the SAT, make sure you look into that. And it costs more to take the essay. If you actually need the essay and you took it without the essay, you're kind of in trouble. So another really big change is that you don't get in trouble for guessing now. It used to be you got 1/4 of a point taken off if you got the wrong answer, and you got 0 points off if you didn't even guess, and I don't know, it was really weird. But now you don't get penalized for guessing, so it's really important that you just fill in all the circles no matter what. That reminds me, there's also 4 options now instead of 5. It used to be A, B, C, D, or E, and now it's just A, B, C, or D. So that is another reason why I feel it might be a little bit easier. If you have not taken the SAT before, that totally is irrelevant to you, but you should know that you're a little bit luckier because it's a little bit easier now. If you've taken the SAT before, then you might want to consider taking the new one because it might be easier for you. I don't know. Now I just wanted to give you guys some general tips because I have messed up both times taking the SAT. I've taken it twice. I'll probably take it at least one more time to see if I get a better score. My first tip is to arrive early, or just at least leave early. Testing centers, I think, want you to get there around 7:45, which sucks because that is so early. I know my high school never really hosts the SAT, so I always have to travel somewhere different, and the one I took last time was kind of far away from my house. Not really, but I'd never gone there before, so that was really frustrating. But I left way early, and that was really good because if I got lost or something, I would have had extra time. So I recommend leaving early. I recommend eating a good breakfast. I get really nervous, and I have a lot of anxiety before tests, and that makes me not hungry. So I still try to eat something though, so I can be more focused. So try to eat something. You can also take snacks for the break. We really don't have that much time, so it's kind of not that great, but I would say just go for it. Definitely bring water. That's super important. I forgot water last time, but My friend Rachel was nice enough to give me one of her extra water bottles, so that was really great. Don't bring Cheetos, like that's disgusting. Like you'll have to like go and wash your hands and that'll just take up more time. Like maybe just like a granola bar or something. I feel like that's like your best option. Trying to put a lot of emphasis on this tip is to make sure you have everything before you leave. And like even better than that, like set it out the night before. The first time I took the test, I didn't realize that you needed a calculator, and it was really frustrating because I was in a math classroom and I knew that there was probably calculators somewhere like in the cabinets or something, and I just didn't have access to them. I'd done better if I had a calculator to check my work, but yeah, so make sure you have a calculator. The second thing that you really need to bring is give you like this like sheet, like they email it to you. I forget exactly what they call it, but make sure you have that. The second time I took the SAT, I was so focused on having a calculator that I brought 2 calculators, but I forgot that freaking piece of paper later, so I had to come back home and get it, and that's just really frustrating. So if you like have everything like set out like the night before, then you won't have that problem. So I definitely recommend doing that. My next tip is to basically just like survey the room that you're in and make sure that you can see a clock, because all of the different little subject tests are timed, either like 50 minutes, 35, 25, and so make sure you have access to a clock, because I feel like that really like can impact your score. College Board and like the people who like make the SAT like tell the people running it that like all the students should have access to a clock. Your test prompter as well should be like saying, you know, 30 minutes left, 5 minutes left. You know that you have access to that, because if not, you're really at a disadvantage. So, to go along with that, every test prompter you have is going to be different, and it's totally kind of like up to luck. The one I had last time was amazing. She was so nice. I had brought mechanical pencils, and you're really supposed to use number 2 pencils. So she like gave us number 2 pencils. This one girl didn't have a calculator, and she like made sure she got a calculator. Like had the like clock on the wall, but she also had a stopwatch kind of projected onto a screen, and so we could see how much time we had left exactly there, as well as like the real time on the clock. Totally preferred that to like the test prompter I had before, who like wasn't super helpful. That really did make a difference, but you can't really do anything to like make sure you have that. At least I don't think you can. So this is just personal experience. I don't know if anybody else took the SAT Saturday as well. You can maybe comment below if you did and say what you thought of it. For me, the no calculator part of the test was really hard. Firstly, I'm not very good at math to begin with, and secondly, you didn't have access to a calculator, so you had to do all the calculations by yourself. Thirdly, you only had 35 minutes. I think this one was 35 minutes. So I felt really rushed. Maybe it's like 8 or 10 or so questions where it's not A, B, C, D. It's a grid where you like fill out the numbers that you get. So I totally recommend going and trying to do those ones first. They don't necessarily take longer, but like you really need to like get to them, because if like you leave those to the end and you like don't have enough time for it, you can't just like guess B. It could be any number ever. It could even be a fraction, decimal, whatever. Go do that first because then if you don't get to the other questions, you can like guess A, B, C, or D, and you have a 1 in 4 chance. Whereas with the grid and you didn't even get to it, you'll not get it right at all. So that was something that I wish I had done, and I just found that section really hard. I hope I wasn't the only one. The calculator part of the test I didn't find to be that hard. As I said, I'm not very good at math. The geometry stuff for me is really hard, so if I take it again, which I probably will, I'm really going to try to like study the geometry parts. As for the reading, for those I never really study for, and I usually do fine on, because it's kind of just like what sounds right, like combining sentences and stuff like that. So I found that to be relatively easy. I don't know, maybe that's just me. A lot of the reading was really interesting. There was one about windmills, which I'm really passionate about, like environmental stuff, so like one about clean energy was really interesting to me, and I think it's good that they put that on the test. And there was like this letter from Cesar Chavez, and I love Cesar Chavez, so like really like cool that they put that on there too. So I guess I'm a nerd, I don't know. My last tip is for studying. So to study, you can buy practice tests, but there's also Khan Academy online. That is actually really awesome. Basically, you go on there and they can like look at your PSAT scores, and they can like give you question sets and like help you build the skills that you're struggling on. I feel like that's like probably one of the best ways that you can study. Obviously, taking like a time practice test would be really beneficial too. If you're gonna put time and energy into it, you should focus on the parts that you're not as good at. So yeah, that is basically all my tips and advice, and like basically going over my experience. I want to like say, just because I feel like I need to say this, that the SAT is just one test, and I feel like you shouldn't let the numbers like define you. I just feel like I need to say that because I have to remind myself that a lot, because standardized tests are just like annoying. I get that it's a way for like colleges to like compare everyone like on an even kind of scale, but like we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and like at the end of the day I feel like it shouldn't be how you do like guessing on a multiple choice test. It should be like who you are as a person. Okay, that is all for this week's video. I hope you guys liked it. As I said, talk to me in the comments. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. You guys are awesome, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!